Hello, this is IK Tutors, and we're here to solve another HESI problem for our customers. So let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, we see all this dot notation that tells us this is a proportion problem, right? This is proportion notation. We see all the dots, right? Right. So how do we solve this? We can solve this in three quick steps. I've written the steps on the right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and follow them. Whenever we see a proportion problem, it can be in this format or it can be in the word format, right? Word problem format. The first step is we have to write what's called the equivalence of two fractions. And that's exactly what it sounds like. We're going to write one fraction equals another fraction. That's step number one, always for proportion. So where do we get the numbers from? Well, we get them from the proportions themselves, right? So let's just go over a few basics here. These four dots, all they mean is the equal sign, right? And these dots over here between these two numbers, this is one proportion and this is the other proportion. Okay, so we have to convert this to a fraction so we can do the arithmetic because we can't do any arithmetic with in the proportion notation. So we're going to convert 6 to 7 to fraction notation, right? Which is great because we have two numbers here in the fraction in the proportion notation, and we have two numbers in fraction. So all we need to know is which of the numbers go on top. For proportions, the number on the left always goes on top. For proportions, the number on the left always goes on top. So this first fraction is going to be 6/7. And then the same thing for the other proportion. The number on the left goes on top. So that's going to be x over 98. Okay, great. So we have the equivalence of two fractions. One fraction equals another. And note for proportions, one of the fractions is always going to have an x in either the top or the bottom. Here it happens to be on the top. It could have been just as well on the bottom if it was a different format. So for the equivalence of two fractions, which we use for proportions, it's going to be one fraction equal another, and one of the fractions will have an x in either the top or the bottom. So we've completed step one. Now let's go into step two. Step two is we need we have to solve, right? It says solve. We need an equation to solve. So how do we get the equation? We're going to cross multiply to get the equation. We're going to cross multiply what? We're going to cross multiply the tops and the bottoms. So we're going to say the x on top times the 7 on the bottom. That'll give us 7x equals the 6 on top times the 98 on the bottom. That is going to equal 6 times 98. All right. So now we have our equation. That's how you get an equation from the equivalence of two fractions. All right. So we've done step number two. The last and final step is we're going to simplify and solve. That's it. Okay. So how do we do this? Well, we have 7x equals 6 times 98, which is 588. And now we're simply going to solve this. How do we solve? We use our solve technique. Look on the variable side of the equal sign, see what operation's happening to our variable or letter. In this case, we're multiplying the variable by 7, so we're going to do the opposite of that and divide by 7. And whenever we do an operation on one side of the equal sign, we have to do the identical operation on the other. So we're going to divide the other side of the equal sign by 7 as well. Now we can simplify. 7x divided by 7, it gives us 1x, or just x. And 588 divided by 7 is 84. So our answer is x equals 84. And this is the answer we're going to put in the multiple choice section for this question. And that's it, guys. So if you have any questions, please feel free to go to the website, the St. Paul School of Nursing website, and drop your questions in the Contact Us form. There's an upload there for when you taking a picture of the question you got stuck on. All right. And you can also ask questions about this problem. Just let us know you looked at the video and you have a question about whatever part you have a question about. Okay. And I'll get back to you relatively quickly. So I hope this helped, and I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day.